My name's Lee Bastian, and I'm the Regional Park Manager for Fish, Wildlife, and Parks out of the Missoula office. Kelly Island is considered or is identified as a fishing access site. It's part of our overall statewide fishing access site program. Statewide, we're looking at about 300 fishing access sites. Kelly Island is one of those fishing access sites that kind of falls into a gray zone. It's more than just a fishing access site, but it's not developed to the level of a state park. I think to the user, to the recreator, I think Kelly Island serves a very key role in the lifestyles of the public.
I think that more respect for it would help. You know, other people coming up here like a little closer watch so that people don't get so damn carried away out here. You know, throwing their garbage and shit. You know, outside of that, I don't think that they could really improve it much, except for throwing more fish in the water.
Hi, this is my first time at Kelly's Island. This is what I found. This is what I found.
The obvious reason for having a policy, pack it in, pack it out, is to make the user be a little bit more responsible for whatever garbage they may be bringing in, to make sure they take it home. It sort of works and it sort of doesn't work.
Watermelon candies, more candy wrappers, lots of fishing line to kill small birds. Check it out. Death to the robins. Enough cigarette butts to, you know, toxify the whole place. Boat propellers. People who can't drive their boats, they just leave them here. Some beer and pop containers. More death to the nesting osprey over there when they get this around their neck. Oh, we have here eagle claw fish hooks. Come on, anglers. I don't know, some more fishing stuff. Pop. Looks like an old Playboy that's been left out here for a while. You know, you sit around when you fish.
When you provide garbage cans at sites, those garbage cans will definitely get full of garbage. And even beyond that, you'll have garbage even hanging out around the garbage cans. When you implement a pack it in, pack it out policy, and you take garbage cans away, the obvious reason for it is that you don't have any garbage to deal with. It helps on your maintenance personnel as far as cleanup of a site goes. It also helps as far as garbage costs go. You know, people think that, gee, you just provide a can, that can't cost very much, but when you've got 60 cans spread throughout a region and you've got to pay a dump fee to get rid of those bags of garbage, that can be a pretty good expense on an overall budget.
You know, and I've seen some of the neatest things out here. You know, I've seen a big bull moose that's out here. I've witnessed foxes chasing squirrels and field mice, predator birds carrying fish through the air as they're flying. It's you know, it's more than just sitting here, you know, trying to you know, get a deer. It's part of, you know, being out here with nature and being able to see those neat things like that.
My name is Steve Brucker, and I live at 240 Tower Road. Actually, we're down here at least once or twice a week. Most of the time we try to fish, but a lot of times it's just for a walk in the evening. We're pretty close to the area. And Kelly Island is close enough to the house that in 10 minutes we can come out and stay a half hour and get back home within an hour. So, as a matter of fact, we talked to our neighbor today. He said that he has about 80 acres just upstream from here that crosses the island, or on the upper tip of the island. And I would say I'm a new resident to the area, so to have this type of access within 10 minutes of my house is new. I'm not sure the people of this area or of this community realize what a true asset that is and benefit.
Sometimes fishing ain't good here, but it's a fun place to come to relax.
Tell you what, it's not the same as it was 2 years ago. I come here and drop in a line and catch a fish within 3 seconds. I'd go home with at least 7 fish sometimes. You know, through the day, I'd catch them or at least keep my limit, but that's a pretty good day, you know, for a couple hour fishing. Sure to choose a pretty day to do this, though. Brother-in-law and I, we come hunting out here one day, and this guy was in a tree, just standing there, tucked away in a tree, and he was gonna shoot my brother-in-law. Yeah, whoa! He says, "Well, I thought you were a deer." I was like, "Wait a minute."
As far as the way the animals are, yeah, I think they're a little more spooky because they're fairly used to humans coming on the island and running them around, you know, and they're always on the run from the humans, you know, people that are coming around on the island.
The dogs, there's just a marked increase in dog use along the edges of the island, and barking. I haven't personally witnessed any disturbing of wildlife by dogs, but I suspect that it could be a problem.
I bow hunt on Kelly Island, and I was sitting in my tree stand, and I don't know, I guess it was probably 4 or 5 days ago, and I have been seeing dogs out on the island, and this particular day I had seen a dog, little basset hound kind of dog, chasing a big bull moose through across the island. I saw him chasing for about 200 yards or so, and the moose stopped about 300 yards from my stand or somewhere in there, and the dog gave up chase about 100 yards before the moose stopped. But you know, it's just another way that the people and their animals around here, if they're not controlled, are going to drive animals off this island.
Dogs, let the dogs run. So,
That could be. I haven't actually had a phone call saying that I've seen dogs chasing deer or moose or whatever. Some of the conflicts that we have encountered might be more along the lines of late night parties occurring, and the residents that live next to the sites trying to get a good night's sleep and finding that they've got a good rousing party occurring at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. Those kind of conflicts we encounter. We probably encounter maybe a little bit of user conflict, maybe an occasional motorcyclist or four-wheeler that has snuck onto the site, and maybe it's during archery season and an archery hunter's up in his tree stand trying to do some archery hunting, and so there's been maybe some user conflict that way.
I've been seeing marked increase in the use of all-terrain vehicles, their trails, their tracks, and they're becoming quite abundant on the island. don't believe that they're having a real adverse effect yet, but you know, given the fact that they are beginning to use it more and more, I believe that it could become an issue in the future.
When we first acquired the site back in 1974, there was very little residential building that was occurring right next to Kelly Island, and so the conflicts that can occur between a homeowner that lives adjacent to a recreation site, those conflicts were very minimal. Now that development has occurred in the last 10 years, the last almost 20 years, we've got a lot of homes that surround all the way on 3 sides of Kelly Island, maybe more on 2 sides of Kelly Island, and there are more conflicts between those homeowners and the recreating public.
John Drake, and I live next to Kelly Island. Water is to the back of me and along Spurgeon Road. They don't do a whole lot out there, I guess. But I mean, it's really a nice and wonderful area there. But there isn't much presence out there. They do pretty well manage the fishing access, which is down at the other end, and that's managed very well. It's closed every night and open in the day, and so generally it's just a day use area. Behind in the Kelly Island area, there's generally not much presence of folks back there. I mean, in terms of fish wildlife folks. Well, some of the things that happen out there is there's a lot of motorized use at times, and that's not supposed to happen, but there is a lot of motorized use, motorcycles, 3-wheel drive out, and I don't mind a little of that, but sometimes it gets really, really pretty bad. A lot of folks use it for horseback and what have you, and that I don't mind, not even in the slightest. Hiking, fishing, all of those kind of things. It seems like it's just the noise associated with some of the 4-wheel drive use, the motorcycle use that does occur out there that causes some problems. Well, the development here is pretty well through for right now anyway, so what you see is probably what will be here for a while anyway. It's nice that we do have the open space where they still do the raising the alfalfa on the other side of us here. But I don't think the development has hurt it, it hasn't been overly developed, and one nice thing about it is most of the lots here are at least an acre in size. So there's it's not real close development. It's a nice neighborhood.
I'm Gordon Hallisey, and I live at 4865 Spurgeon Road, right across from Kelly Access Road. Well, most people are respectable of it. There are a few that try to have beer parties and stuff, but otherwise, we're no problem.
Yeah, we do encounter some conflicts.
They take good care of it.
Kelly Island does provide multiple recreational opportunities for several reasons. It's close to a community, a major community such as Missoula. So you've got 75,000 some people in this valley area that utilize a site such as Kelly Island, not necessarily all of them. Our visitation records are probably showing around 20,000 a year visitation. But you've got people, you're correct, that go in there bow hunting during the archery season, go in there duck hunting during the waterfowl season. Those are the only two hunting opportunities that we provide on a site like this. You've got people in the summertime that go there to go swimming, sunbathing, picnicking, and then of course you want to remember that Kelly Island's also one of our sites that we have designated as a watchable wildlife site, just for the fact that it's in a nice big riparian area. You've got the Bitterroot and the Clark Fork River coming together, and the opportunities for viewing wildlife is pretty immense. There's a lot of species down there that you should be able to see. Looking at the budget, like I'd mentioned earlier, we've got 55 some fishing access sites. We've got them broke down into two categories: high priority, low priority. The high priority sites, we've probably got 20 that we qualify or classify as high priority sites, and then we've got the remaining 35 that we classify as low priority sites. For the high priority sites, looking at our budgets, total amount of dollars per site for a high priority site, we're looking at about $2,500. Of that $2,500, we've got $750 that we categorize as operations dollars. Those are the dollars that we use for the maintenance and the day-to-day caretaker services of a site. The low priority sites, we are looking at a budget of about $450 per site, and you break that down to just operations, it's about $140 per site. So as you can see, for a 12-month period, we don't really have a large amount of dollars for each individual site.
If it's like other parks, probably shoestring budget. You know, that could be as little as a few $1,000s a month, or maybe $1,000 a month. I really don't know. As we drove in today, Renee said, boy, I'm surprised they don't have restrooms here for people. And the first thing that we then said is, well, probably budget says all they can afford are the signs and maybe pave, or not pave, but grade the road in and out of the park. So I suspect it's very little.
I don't know. I wouldn't know.
I would suspect that looking around with the picnic tables and the landscaping and the boat dock, you would think that they would have a fair amount of money, but I really don't know the sum of money that they would have.
As I'd mentioned earlier in the interview, Kelly Island is only one of 300 plus fishing access sites. Just in this region alone, we've got fishing access sites located on the Bitterroot River, the Clark Fork River, and the Blackfoot River. Generally, when we try to acquire a fishing access site, either through acquisition or lease, we try to locate these sites at intervals along a river, so that the recreator probably has like a half-day float, if that's the way he wants to go from site to site, or if he wants to hike up or hike down a river, he won't run into a site right away. He will have some miles in between so that he's got the real natural environment to deal with. So that's how we have tried to design our fishing access site program. And for the most part, it's been pretty successful that way.
Kelly Island a paradise or a problem?
It's kind of both. I think to the user, to the recreator, I think Kelly Island serves a very key role in the lifestyles of the public. Obviously, recreation is very important for all people, and Kelly Island definitely provides multiple kinds of recreation, which is really great. We've all, at times, got to get away from the hustle bustle of school or work, just to have some time to think on your own. Hiking on a trail, just seeing Mother Nature at its best, is one of the best things for the soul.
I believe it's a paradise. I've been out here and I've been sitting in this same stand, and I've seen some of the neatest things out here. I've seen a big bull moose that's out here. I've witnessed foxes chasing squirrels and field mice, predator birds carrying fish through the air as they're flying. It's it's more than just sitting here, trying to get a deer. It's part of, being out here with nature and being able to see those neat things like that.
Oh, I consider it very much a plus. It's a paradise type of an area. I think the city of Missoula needs open spaces like that. You need to break up the subdivision in some of the other areas with areas like Kelly Island.
Well, Kelly Island, I don't believe is a problem. I think Kelly Island is a very good thing that Missoula has here for recreation, provided that it's maintained and cared for.
I wouldn't consider it a paradise, but I damn well ain't gonna consider it
a problem.
I consider it pretty.
I would consider it a paradise, and one that I hope the community realizes is a paradise or a real opportunity to keep a green space in Missoula or this much property intact. I certainly wouldn't call it a problem. Either, I'm not sure how you would put it in that category of a problem.
A problem? I probably would be the person to say that, yes, there are some problems, but it's because I deal with the day-to-day administration and management of a site such as Kelly Island, but those problems you try to minimize as best you can. To the general public, they probably don't see much of a problem. Where problems may exist, and we may be headed in that direction with Kelly Island, is with increased population levels in the Missoula area, and still trying to provide a natural setting, a natural environment for recreators. You're going to have more and more conflicts arising by increased visitation, increased homes being built next to it, and that may become a problem down the road. I would say we're going to try to keep it as a fishing access site, keep it as natural as we can, do development projects that at least are maybe viewed more of a site protection type of development, that we know we're getting a lot of increased use on a trail, so maybe we go in there and do some trail improvement just so that the resource itself doesn't degrade any worse than it is. One future thing for Kelly Island that I think could be very beneficial is the community of Missoula itself is working on a non-motorized trail program of linking all of these public parcels of property into one trail system, so that somebody could maybe get on a city park in downtown Missoula, follow this trail system out all the way to Kelly Island, and be able to recreate in Kelly Island, and then follow that trail system back into Missoula. And I see that as providing some key opportunities for Kelly Island and the residents of Missoula.
I'd like to see it left just how it is. I'm not saying we should, tear the houses down around it and turn it into a complete, nature area, but just stay just how it is, and I think it would be beautiful.